My beloved child, before you move into another thought, before you let the noise of the day pull you away, pause here with me. Do not listen only with your ears. Listen with the deepest place of your soul. There is a place within you that has always known how to recognize my light, even when the world around you became crowded with noise. I am speaking to that place now. My child, this moment is not as ordinary as it appears. You may have clicked, stopped, or stayed because something gentle pulled on you. You may have thought it was curiosity, habit, or timing, but I tell you nothing that brings your heart closer to. My voice is meaningless in my hands. I have been drawing you, not with force, not with fear, but with a tender invitation. My beloved child, I know how many voices have surrounded you. Voices telling you to hurry, voices telling you to worry, voices reminding you of what went wrong, voices measuring your life by what is still unfinished. You have carried those sounds until your own heart has struggled to hear peace. But beneath all of that, my voice remains. It is not fragile, it is not lost, it has not been swallowed by the noise. My voice has been steady like a deep river moving beneath the surface of a restless city. It has never stopped flowing. It was there before your questions became words. It was there before your tears knew where to fall. It was there before you understood that your soul was searching for more than relief. You were searching for me. My child, I knew you before you knew yourself. Before you were shaped in the hidden place, I had already held your name within my heart. Before people praised you or misunderstood you, before you succeeded or stumbled, before you tried to prove your worth, I had already seen you with love. So do not come to me as a stranger. Come as one already known. My beloved child, the deepest place of your soul does not need performance. It does not need polished words. It does not need to pretend strength when it is tired. That place only needs truth. It needs stillness. It needs the courage to become quiet enough to receive what I have been speaking all along. I am not asking you to escape your life. I am asking you to let my presence enter it, right in the middle of the unfinished things, right in the ache you have not explained to anyone, right in the questions you have carried quietly. My child, there are times when I do not shake the sky to get your attention. There are times when I do not send a sign so large that no doubt can remain. Instead, I come like a soft light entering a room before morning arrives. I come like breath upon a candle that has almost gone dim. I come like gentle rain touching ground that has waited too long. Do not despise my gentleness. My gentleness is not weakness. It is the way I draw near without crushing you. You have lived in a world that often honors what is loud, fast, and visible. But I often begin my deepest work in what is quiet, slow, and hidden. A seed does not announce itself while it breaks open in the soil. A root does not ask for applause while it grows beneath the ground. A heart does not always look changed when I first begin to heal it, but I am working. My beloved child, this is why I ask you to listen deeper, not to the noise outside you, not to the panic inside you, not to the memory that keeps repeating old pain. Listen beneath all of that, where my spirit bears witness that you are still, mind still held, still guided, still able to be renewed. There is a listening that happens beyond words. It is the listening of trust. It is the listening of surrender. It is the listening of a soul that says, Father, I do not understand everything, but I am here, and that is enough for me to begin. My child, you may wonder why your heart feels stirred right now. You may wonder why certain words reach places in you that have been silent for a long time. You may wonder why tears rise, or why your breath slows, or why a small hope begins to move again. Do not call that strange. Do not push it away. That is the place within you recognizing my touch. My beloved child, when my voice comes near, it does not always come as information. Sometimes it comes as recognition. Your spirit remembers what your mind forgot. Your heart senses what reason cannot fully explain. Something in you knows that you were not created to live empty, rushed, afraid, and disconnected from the one who formed you. You were created for communion. You were created to walk with me. You were created to carry peace that is deeper than circumstance. So let this moment become more than listening to a message. Let it become a turning of the heart. Let it become a quiet doorway where you stop running from your own soul and begin to hear me there. My child, I am not far away from the place you are afraid to open. I am not absent from the thoughts you do not know how to arrange. I am not offended by the tiredness you bring. I am near to the honest heart. I am close to the one who stops pretending and allows me to speak into the hidden room. So breathe with me now. Let your shoulders lower. Let your heart stop racing toward the next thing. Let the deepest place within you become still enough to hear. My beloved child, I am calling you not into confusion, but into peace. Not into pressure, but into recognition. Not into a performance of faith, but into the living awareness that I have always known you, always watched over you, and always prepared a way for your soul to return to my voice. This is where the journey begins. Not with noise, not with striving, not with fear, but with listening. And as you listen with the deepest place of your soul, I will teach you how to recognize my voice in the stillness where peace first begins to settle, and your heart starts to understand that I have been speaking all along. My beloved child, now that you have begun to listen with the deepest place of your soul, I want to teach you how my voice often comes, not always in thunder, not always in signs that shake the room, not always in the kind of answer your fear demands. Often I speak in stillness. My child, stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is not abandonment. Stillness is not the sound of heaven forgetting your name. Stillness is the space where I quiet the storm around you, so the truth within you can become clear again. You have been trained by the world to trust what is loud. Loud headlines, loud opinions, loud pressure, loud fear, loud memories that return when you are trying to rest. Because of that, you sometimes think, my voice must also be loud if it is real. But my beloved child, I do not need to compete with noise to prove that I am near. I am the Lord. My voice can enter the deepest room of your heart without breaking down the door. My peace can move through you without announcing itself to everyone around you. My guidance can come as a quiet, knowing, a gentle restraint, a holy discomfort, or a small invitation that keeps returning with peace. Do not despise what is gentle. Do not ignore what is quiet. Do not call my whisper weak. My child, when Elijah stood before the mountain, there was wind strong enough to tear the rocks. There was shaking. There was fire. But after all of that passed, my presence was recognized in the gentle whisper. I was teaching him something that I am also teaching you. Power does not always have to roar. Sometimes the deepest authority arrives softly enough that only a listening heart can recognize it. This is why I am slowing you down, not to punish you, not to delay you, not to make you feel forgotten. I am slowing the restless places within you so you can separate my voice from every other sound that has been trying to rule your life. My beloved child, fear has a voice. It rushes. It pressures. It imagines the worst and calls it preparation. Shame has a voice. It accuses. It repeats old names. It tells you that you are too late, too weak, too stained, too far behind. Wounds have a voice. They warn you not to hope again, not to trust again, not to open again. But my voice is different. My voice may correct you, but it will not crush you. My voice may lead you into surrender, but it will not steal your dignity. My voice may ask you to wait, but it will not leave you without peace. My child, I want you to begin noticing the fruit of what you hear. If a voice drives you into panic, hatred, despair, or confusion, bring it into my light before you obey it. If a thought strips you of hope and calls it wisdom, pause. If an urgency pushes you to move without peace, stop and return to me. I am not the author of confusion. My beloved child, the stillness I give is not a blank silence. It is a living silence. It is like a clear lake after the wind has stopped, where the surface finally becomes calm enough to reflect the sky. When your heart is constantly stirred by fear, you cannot see clearly. But when I bring stillness, your soul begins to reflect truth again. You begin to remember who you are. You begin to sense what matters. You begin to recognize what I have been saying all along. My child, sometimes my voice will come through scripture remembered at the right moment, sometimes through a quiet conviction during prayer, sometimes through peace that remains when every outward answer is still unfinished, sometimes through a closed door that protects you, sometimes through an open door that arrives without striving, sometimes through a gentle pause that says, "Not yet. My child, wait with me." Learn this rhythm. My voice does not always give you the whole road. Often I give you the next step. A lamp does not have to light the entire valley to guide the feet. It gives enough light for the step directly before you. And when you take that step with me, more light comes. This is how trust grows. Not by controlling the future, but by walking close enough to hear me in the present. My beloved child, I know you have asked for certainty. You have wanted answers wrapped in clarity placed before you in a way no doubt could touch. I do not condemn that desire. I know uncertainty can feel heavy. But if I answered everything at once, you might cling to information instead of relationship. I want your heart near me. I want you to know me, not only know what comes next. So I speak in ways that draw you closer. I leave room for communion. I invite you to lean in. I teach you to return again and again, not because I am hiding from you, but because love grows through nearness. My child, do not be afraid of quiet moments. Sit with me there. Let your breath slow. Let the noise settle. Let the unfinished questions rest in my hands for a little while. You do not have to force an answer from heaven. You only need to become present enough to receive what I am giving. And sometimes what I give first is not direction. It is peace. Peace before the plan. Peace before the breakthrough. Peace before the explanation. My beloved child, peace is often the doorway through which guidance comes. When your heart is frantic, every option looks frightening. But when my peace enters, the path does not always become easy, yet it becomes clearer. You can sense what is aligned with my character. You can feel when something is pulling you away from truth. You can recognize the difference between holy conviction and tormenting accusation. This is a gift. Receive it. Do not rush past it. My child, the stillness is where I untangle your hearing. It is where I remove the echo of voices that did not come from me. It is where I teach you that you are not governed by every thought that crosses your mind. You are guided by the shepherd who knows your name. My beloved child, from this moment when silence surrounds you, do not immediately fill it. Do not run to noise simply because stillness feels unfamiliar. Stay with me a little longer. Let the gentle voice become familiar. Let peace become a language you understand. Let your soul learn that my nearness does not always arrive with spectacle, but it always carries life. That same grace is now resting over this quiet moment, inviting you to answer without fear and listen with trust today, again wholeheartedly. And as you become still enough to hear, I will show you the story of a child who heard his name in the night and how one simple response opened the door to a life shaped by my voice. My beloved child, as you learn to recognize my voice in the stillness, I want to take you into a quiet night where a young heart first learned to answer me. Samuel was resting in the temple. The lamp had not gone out. The house was quiet. And in that silence, I called his name. My child, I did not call Samuel in a crowd. I did not begin his awakening with public attention. I did not surround him with noise so he would feel important. I came in the night when everything was still enough for a single name to be heard. That is often how I begin. I call in hidden places. I call when no one else is watching. I call when the soul is quiet enough to be interrupted by heaven. My beloved child, when Samuel first heard the call, he did not understand. He ran to Eli because he thought a human voice had awakened him. He heard correctly, but he interpreted wrongly. The sound reached him, but discernment was still forming within him. Do not judge yourself harshly for the times you have done the same. There have been moments when I stirred your heart and you thought it was only emotion. There have been moments when I warned you gently and you called it fear. There have been moments when I invited you closer and you thought it was restlessness. There have been moments when I placed a holy desire within you and you dismissed it as imagination. My child, you were not foolish. You were learning. A listening heart often grows through repeated calls. Samuel heard me more than once before he understood. Each call was not wasted. Each time he rose, each time he asked, each time he returned to his resting place, he was being brought closer to recognition. My beloved child, I have been patient with you in the same way. I have called through quiet impressions. I have called through scripture that returned to your mind. I have called through a door that would not open through peace, that would not leave through discomfort, that would not settle through a longing for something more faithful than the life you had been accepting. And when you did not understand at first, I did not abandon you. I called again. My child, that is, my mercy. I do not despise the immature listener. I teach the listener. I do not reject the heart that confuses my voice with other sounds. I draw that heart nearer until it can say with honesty, "Speak, Lord, I am listening." That simple response opened Samuel's life. Not because the sentence was impressive, not because the child understood everything, but because his heart became available. My beloved child, availability matters more than performance. You may think you need perfect language before you can answer me. You may think you need a complete plan, a stronger faith, a clearer understanding, or a more polished prayer. But I am not waiting for your speech to become beautiful. I am waiting for your heart to become present. A whispered yes can open what anxiety never could. A sincere "here I am" can become the beginning of a new path. My child, there is something holy about being willing to listen before you know what will be said. Many only want my voice if it confirms what they already desire. Many ask me to speak, but only if my answer does not disturb their comfort. Many say they want direction, yet they resist the quiet place where direction is given. But you, my beloved child, I am teaching to listen differently, not as one demanding control, but as one trusting my love. Samuel did not know that the call in the night would shape his future. He did not know that a quiet response would open a prophetic life. He did not know that the stillness around him was not empty, but charged with destiny. You also do not yet know all that I am opening through your willingness to hear. My child, some moments seem small while they are happening. A pause before sleep, a prayer spoken softly, a tear that rises during a message, a quiet conviction to forgive, return, wait, release, begin, or surrender. You may think these are small things, but many destinies turn on small acts of obedience. Do not underestimate a quiet yes. My beloved child, when I call your name, I am not only getting your attention, I am reminding you who you are. The world may call you by your failures. Fear may call you by your delays. Shame may call you by your wounds. But I call you by the name I held before the noise reached you. I call you beloved. I call you mine. I call you into peace. My child, my call does not erase your humanity. Samuel was still a child when he heard me. He still needed guidance. He still needed Eli to help him understand how to respond. Do not despise the people, teachings, and quiet confirmations I place near you. I can use humble guidance to help you recognize a holy call, but remember this: no person replaces my voice. They may help you listen, but I am the one who calls. My beloved child, there are seasons when I speak your name not to rush you into action, but to awaken your attention. Before I send, I teach you to hear. Before I entrust, I draw you close. Before I reveal more, I form a heart that can carry the weight of what is revealed. This is why stillness matters. The night was not wasted. The waiting was not empty. The repeated call was not accidental. My child, I am building discernment in you. I am teaching you to know the difference between my peace and your panic, between my correction and your shame, between my timing and your impatience, between my invitation and the pressure of the world. This discernment will protect you. It will keep you from chasing every sound. It will keep you from fearing every silence. It will help you follow when I truly speak. My beloved child, tonight let your soul answer simply. You do not have to understand the entire road. You do not have to know every assignment ahead. You do not have to explain why your heart feels stirred. You only need to become available to me. Say within your heart, "Speak, Father, I am listening." Say it slowly. Say it honestly. Say it with the tired places included. My child, I receive that response. I receive the fragile, yes, the quiet return, the small opening of your heart. And as you answer me in the stillness, I will begin to show you that you were never called by accident, never drawn here by chance, and never known only by the names the world gave you. I have called you by name, and the name I speak over you is older than your fear. It is the beginning of recognition that your life has always been held inside my eternal purpose and faithful love. My beloved child, as you receive the truth that I have called you by name, I want you to let that truth move deeper than your thoughts. You are not here by accident. You are not drawn into this moment by chance. You are not formed without purpose. My child, long before you understood your own heart, I knew you. Long before the world placed names upon you, I held your true name in my love. Long before fear tried to define you, I saw the person I created you to become. Your life has never been random to me. People may see fragments. I see the whole design. People may remember moments. I see the beginning and the end together. My beloved child, there have been seasons when you wondered whether your life had wandered too far from meaning. You looked at delays, closed doors, disappointments, and unanswered questions, and you thought perhaps you had missed something important. Perhaps you were late. Perhaps you were misplaced. Perhaps other people found their path while you were still trying to understand yours. But I speak over that fear now. You are not misplaced. You are not forgotten. You are not outside my reach. My child, an accident has no intention behind it, but you were formed with intention. An accident has no loving hand guiding it, but my hand has guided you even through places you did not understand. An accident has no name spoken over it before time, but I have called you by name from the beginning. That name is not failure. That name is not abandoned. That name is not too late. My beloved child, I know the names life has tried to place on you. Some came through wounds, some came through rejection, some came through comparison, some came through mistakes you still remember. Some came through voices that did not know the weight of what they were speaking. But no earthly name has authority to cancel what I have spoken. When I call you, mine heaven recognizes you. When I call you beloved, shame loses its final word. When I call you chosen, confusion cannot define your destiny. My child, being called by name does not mean your life will be without difficulty. It means difficulty will never have the right to erase your identity. It means the storm cannot rename you. It means the wilderness cannot own you. It means delay cannot decide who you are. You belong to me before you belong to any season. You are held by me before you are understood by people. You are known by me before you are noticed by the world. My beloved child, I want you to rest in that, not as an idea, but as a foundation. Many lie exhausted because they are trying to earn a name I have already given. They chase approval, hoping someone will finally confirm their worth. They perform, hoping the world will call them enough. They hide, afraid that if they are truly seen, they will be rejected. But I see you fully, and I do not turn away. My child, when I call you by name, I call every part of you into my light. Not only the strong parts, not only the useful parts, not only the parts others praise. I call the tired places, the hidden places, the ashamed places, the wounded places, the places that still wonder whether peace can be trusted. Come, my child, come as you are, come without pretending. My beloved child, my calling is not shallow. I do not call you merely to make you feel important for a moment. I call you into relationship, into healing, into formation, into purpose. A name spoken by me is not decoration, it is direction. It is belonging. It is the beginning of a life lived under my gaze instead of under the pressure of fear. Listen closely. You are not only someone who needs comfort, you are someone I am forming. You are not only someone waiting for answers, you are someone I am teaching to walk with me. My child, there are details of your life that seem disconnected, but they have not been disconnected to me. The conversation that planted courage, the closed door that protected you, the loss that made you seek truth more deeply, the waiting that stripped away false dependence, the quiet moment when your heart turned back toward prayer. I have been weaving even what you did not understand. You saw scattered threads. I saw a garment being formed. You saw unfinished pages. I saw a story still being written. My beloved child, do not judge your life by a single chapter. Do not take one painful season and call it the whole book. Do not allow one mistake to become your identity. I am not finished writing. I am not finished restoring. I am not finished revealing what I placed within you. You are in process, and process does not mean absence. Process means my hand is still active. My child, this is why I ask you to stop speaking about yourself as if heaven has not spoken first. Stop agreeing with every word that came from fear. Stop repeating the sentence that says you are too broken to be used, too late to be restored, too ordinary to be called, too weak to carry purpose. I did not ask fear for permission before I named you. I did not ask your past whether I could love you. I did not ask the world whether you belong to me. My beloved child, when I call you, I do not deny what you have walked through. I redeem it. I gather the pieces. I place meaning where confusion once sat. I use valleys to deepen roots. I use tears to soften the soil. I use quiet seasons to teach your heart. My voice, nothing surrendered to me is wasted. My child, you may not see the full path yet, but you can trust the one who called you. A child does not need to understand every mile to follow the hand of a faithful father. A sheep does not need the whole map to recognize the shepherd's voice. You do not need complete certainty before you can take the next obedient step. You need my presence, and you have it. My beloved child, receive this today. You are called by name, not by accident. Your existence is not random. Your tears are not unnoticed. Your hunger for peace is not meaningless. Your desire to hear me is not strange. It is evidence that something within you still recognizes home. So lift your heart. Let the old labels fall. Let my voice become stronger than every false name. My child, I am drawing you out of the confusion of chance and into the certainty of belonging. And as you begin to know that you are truly called, I will show you how my hand connects moments, people, and paths in ways your eyes could never have arranged. Soon you will see that no meeting delay or stirring has been outside my careful and loving design for you today. My beloved child, as I show you that no meeting delay or stirring has been outside my careful design, I want you to understand deeper about the way I move. I arrange divine encounters beyond human understanding. You may look at your life and see ordinary conversations, unexpected interruptions, closed doors, delayed answers, and people entering without clear reason. But my child, I see patterns you cannot yet trace. I see roads crossing before travelers know why. I see prayers rising from separate places and meeting within my will. Nothing surrendered to me is wasted. Nothing guided by me is random. My child, you often judge an encounter by how it appears in the moment. A short conversation, a quiet message, a chance meeting, a pause in your schedule, a person who says one sentence that stays with you for years. They can look small, but I have placed eternal weight inside simple moments. Do not despise what seems ordinary. Sometimes I hide direction inside the ordinary. Sometimes I place confirmation inside a brief exchange. Sometimes I send encouragement through someone who does not realize they carry my answer. My child, remember Peter and Cornelius. Their lives seemed separated by culture, distance, experience, and expectation. Peter was praying in one place. Cornelius was seeking me in another. To human understanding, they belonged to different worlds, yet my hand was moving in both. I touched one heart here, prepared another heart there, and then I brought the paths together at the appointed time. This is how I work. While you are praying, I may be preparing someone else. While you are waiting, I may be arranging a door. While you are healing, I may be aligning a conversation that will make sense only later. My beloved child, I am not limited to what you can see from where you stand. You see one room. I see the whole house. You see one road. I see the map beneath every road. You see one delay. I see protection, preparation, and timing hidden inside it. That is why I ask you not to panic when things do not connect. I am still connecting them. My child, some meetings come to awaken courage. Some come to confirm what I already whispered in secret. Some come to reveal what must be released. Some come to place wisdom in your hands. Some come only for a season, and when their purpose is complete, I gently move you onward. Do not cling to every encounter as if it must last forever, and do not reject every short encounter as if it has no meaning. Let me define the purpose. My beloved child, there were times when you thought someone entered your life too late or too briefly. You wondered why a word touched you so deeply. You wondered why a certain path opened then closed. You wondered why a person stirred hope, discomfort, conviction, or clarity. You did not understand, but I was not absent from those movements. I was teaching you discernment. I was showing you what peace feels like. I was showing you what confusion feels like. I was teaching you to notice the difference. My child, divine encounters do not always feel dramatic. They are not always surrounded by signs everyone can see. Sometimes they feel like a quiet alignment, a gentle recognition, a sense that something has been prepared before you arrived. Sometimes your spirit knows before your mind has language. Pay attention to the peace that remains. Pay attention to the fruit that follows. Pay attention to whether the encounter draws you closer to truth, humility, courage, and love. My beloved child, not every open door is from me, and not every closed door is rejection. This is why you need my voice more than your own urgency. An encounter can look promising and still pull you away from peace. A delay can disappoint and still protect your future. A small step can look unimpressive and still lead into my purpose. Walk with me slowly enough to recognize the difference. My child, when I connect lives, I do not do it only for your comfort. I do it for my purpose. Sometimes I bring someone to you so they may receive strength. Sometimes I bring you to someone so you may learn humility. Sometimes I allow a meeting to reveal a wound. Sometimes I send a person as a mirror not to condemn you, but to show what I am ready to transform. My work is deeper than convenience. My design is wider than preference. My love is wiser than your first interpretation. My beloved child, do not be afraid when I rearrange your circle. Some relationships must be healed, released, held with healthy distance, or received with gratitude. I know which is which. Bring every connection before me, and I will teach you how to carry it with peace. You do not need to force what I am not blessing. You do not need to fear what I am truly sending. My child, the people I appoint for your journey will not always look like what you expected. Cornelius did not fit Peter's old categories, yet I was moving there. Moses did not expect a burning bush in the wilderness, yet I spoke there. Mary did not expect holy announcement in ordinary life, yet my promise came there. I come through places the proud overlook. I speak through vessels the fearful might dismiss. I arrange encounters that humble the mind and awaken the soul. My beloved child, this is why I want your heart to stay open and grounded, open enough to receive what I send, grounded enough not to chase every appearance, sensitive enough to discern my touch, stable enough to wait for my confirmation. You are not meant to live suspicious of every person. You are not meant to trust every person without wisdom. You are meant to walk with me. My child, when an encounter is from me, it will not require you to abandon your soul to keep it. It will not demand that you silence conviction. It will not force you to become smaller, colder, or more anxious. Even when it challenges you, it will invite you closer to truth. My beloved child, I am weaving your path with care. Some threads are people, some threads are pauses, some threads are timely words, some threads are doors that did not open because I was protecting the design. One day you will see more clearly how my hand was present in what looked scattered. Until then, trust my guidance. Bless what I bless, release what I release, receive what I send. My child, you are not wandering through disconnected events. You are being led through a holy arrangement. The same God who connected Peter and Cornelius knows how to connect the right people, words, doors, and seasons in your life. And as you begin to see my hand in divine encounters, you will also understand the inner stirring within you. You are not breaking apart. You are being awakened, and what feels unfamiliar is often the first movement of a soul learning to live in my peace. My beloved child, as you begin to understand that the encounters, delays, and stirrings of your life are not random, I want you to hear me clearly about what is happening inside you. You are being awakened, not broken. Do not rush to call your inner trembling a sign that something is wrong. Do not look at the changes within you and assume you are falling apart. Do not believe that because old patterns no longer feel comfortable, you have lost your way. My child, sometimes what feels like confusion is the beginning of clarity. Sometimes what feels like shaking is the release of old chains. Sometimes what feels like losing yourself is the loosening of a false self that was never meant to carry you. I know there are days when you feel different, and you cannot explain why. Things that once satisfied you no longer bring peace. Conversations you once accepted now feel heavy. Habits you once used to escape now feel empty. Certain thoughts, dreams, and desires are being brought into my light, and you wonder what is happening. My beloved child, I am awakening you. I am not destroying your life. I am interrupting what was slowly draining it. I am touching the places where you learned to live, half awake where you adjusted, to fear where you made peace with less than what I called good, where you told yourself that survival was enough because hope felt costly. But I did not create you only to survive. I created you to live in me. My child, awakening can feel uncomfortable because it disturbs the sleep of old familiarity. A person sleeping in a dark room may resist the morning light when it first enters through the window. The eyes are not ready. The body wants to turn away. Yet the light is not harming the sleeper. It is announcing that night is ending. That is what my light is doing in you. It is not attacking you. It is waking you. My beloved child, the old layers that once covered your true heart are beginning to loosen. Some of those layers were built from disappointment. Some were built from the need to be accepted. Some were built from fear of being hurt again. Some were built from trying to appear strong when you secretly needed to be held. I see those layers. I do not shame you for them. I know they can no longer be your covering in the season ahead. My child, when I awaken a soul, I do not begin by making everything outwardly easier. Often I begin by making the inner world more honest. That is why you may notice what you used to ignore. You may feel conviction where you once felt numb. You may sense heaviness around things you once called normal. You may long for truth in places where distraction used to be enough. This is not weakness. This is sensitivity returning. My beloved child, spiritual sensitivity is not instability. It is the soul becoming alive to my presence again. It is the heart beginning to discern the difference between peace and pressure, love and attachment, wisdom and fear, true rest and empty escape. You are learning to feel rightly. You are learning to listen deeply. My child, do not be afraid of this process. A field being prepared for seed is turned over not because the farmer hates the soil, but because he is preparing it to receive life. The surface may look disturbed for a while, but beneath that disturbance, the ground is being made ready. I am preparing the soil of your heart. I am turning over what is hardened. I am bringing buried things into my light. I am making room for peace to take root. My beloved child, you have sometimes prayed for peace, while holding tightly to the patterns that kept peace away. You asked me to calm your heart while fear remained in charge. You asked me to guide you while old wounds still interpreted every sign. You asked me to restore you while parts of you still clung to what was familiar, even when familiar was painful. I do not condemn you. I lead you gently out. Awakening is my mercy calling you from an old room into a wider life. My child, this is why certain things now feel too small for your spirit. It is not pride, it is growth. The conversations that once entertained you may now tire you. The approval you chased may no longer satisfy you. The noise you once needed may now feel like a burden. That is not because you are becoming distant from life. It is because you are being brought into truer life. I am changing your appetite. I am teaching your soul to desire what gives life. My beloved child, do not expect everyone to understand the awakening I am doing within you. Some may think you are changing too much. Some may wonder why you no longer respond the same way. Some may prefer the version of you that was easier for them to predict, use, or define. Bless them, but do not return to sleep for their comfort. You can love people without surrendering your awakening. You can walk gently without going backward. My child, the peace I am bringing to your heart is not the peace of staying asleep. It is the peace of becoming whole. True peace may first disturb false peace. It may reveal where you were pretending. It may show where you were exhausted. It may uncover places where your yes came from fear and your silence came from wounds. But once truth enters, healing can begin. My beloved child, let me name this season correctly. You are not falling apart. You are being gathered. You are not being erased. You are being restored. You are not losing yourself. You are being returned to the self I knew before fear taught you to hide. I am awakening the prayer in you. I am awakening the courage in you. I am awakening the tenderness you buried. I am awakening the discernment that confusion tried to dull. My child, when awakening begins, do not rush to fix every feeling. Sit with me. Bring the trembling to me. Bring the questions. Bring the tears. Bring the strange sense that something is shifting even if you cannot explain it yet. You do not need perfect language. You need honest presence. I know how to guide what I awaken. I know how to steady what I stir. I know how to complete what I begin. My beloved child, breathe and receive this truth. The movement within you is not proof that you are abandoned. It is evidence that I am near enough to touch what has been asleep. I am not leaving you in confusion. I am drawing you into deeper awareness, cleaner peace, and a life no longer governed by fear. Stay close to me. Let the awakening continue. And as the old chains begin to loosen, I will show you that even the shaking you feared can become the sound of freedom breaking open in your soul. My beloved child, as you allow the awakening to continue within you, I want you to understand the shaking you have feared. The shaking is breaking old chains. It is not here to bury you. It is not here to prove that you are weak. It is not here to announce that I have left you. Still, when old structures tremble, the heart often becomes afraid. You feel movement in your thoughts, emotions, habits, and relationships, and wonder whether something is collapsing. But not every shaking is collapse. Some shakings are deliverance beginning to make sound. Some chains do not fall quietly. Some prison doors do not open without trembling. Some foundations must be disturbed so freedom can step forward. My beloved child, remember Paul and Silas in the prison. They were not standing in comfort. They were bound. They were wounded. They were placed in the inner prison where human eyes would have called the situation hopeless. Yet in the night they prayed and sang to me. They did not praise because the prison felt easy. They praised because I was still God inside the prison. Then the shaking came. The ground moved. The doors opened. The chains were loosened. My child, what looked like danger was actually freedom arriving. It was not sent to destroy them. It was sent to break what had locked them in. So do not misread the shaking in your own life. My beloved child, there are things that have held you longer than you realized. Patterns of fear, cycles of overthinking, old agreements with shame, a habit of expecting disappointment, a reflex to hide your true heart before anyone can see it. These chains did not always look like chains because they became familiar. But familiar does not mean free. Comfortable does not mean whole. Normal does not mean mine. My child, I am shaking what you were never meant to live under. I am disturbing the false peace that kept you quiet in captivity. I am touching the hidden locks you could not open by your own strength. I am moving beneath the surface not to frighten you, but to free you completely now. You ask me for peace. I am answering deeper than you expected. True peace sometimes begins by confronting the prison that has been called home. My beloved child, you may feel this shaking as a holy discomfort. Certain habits feel empty. Certain fears that once controlled your decisions are being exposed. Certain relationships reveal where you have been living from approval instead of truth. Do not run from that awareness. Bring it to me. This is not condemnation, this is light. My child, light can feel uncomfortable when it enters a room that has been closed for a long time. Dust becomes visible. Forgotten corners are revealed. Things misplaced in darkness can finally be seen. The light did not create the disorder. The light revealed it so healing could begin. That is what I am doing within you. I am not shaming you. I am showing you what no longer belongs. My beloved child, the shaking may touch your thinking first. Old thoughts that once repeated themselves with authority will begin to lose their power. The sentence that says nothing will change will be challenged by my truth. The voice that says you are too late will meet my timing. The fear that says you cannot live differently will be confronted by my grace. Do not defend the chain because it is familiar. Let it loosen, let it fall. My child, the shaking may also touch your emotions. Tears may rise, restlessness may surface. A hidden ache may become noticeable. Not because you are breaking, but because what was buried is being brought near enough for me to heal. You cannot release what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot surrender a burden you keep pretending is not heavy. I am gentle with what is exposed. I am careful with what is tender. My beloved child, when Paul and Silas sang in the night, their praise did not deny the prison. It declared that the prison did not have the final word. That is what I want to form in you. Not a faith that pretends pain is not real, but a faith that knows my presence is more real. Not a peace that depends on easy surroundings, but a peace that can breathe while chains loosen. This is the peace I bring to your heart today. A peace strong enough to remain during transition. A peace deep enough to survive the shaking. A peace holy enough to lead you out of what once confined you. My child, when the doors opened in the prison, Paul and Silas did not move in panic. They remained under my wisdom. This matters. Freedom is not only the falling of chains. Freedom is the ability to respond from my presence instead of reacting from fear. I am teaching you that kind of freedom. Freedom in your thoughts, freedom in your words, freedom in your choices, freedom in your waiting. My beloved child, do not use the shaking as an excuse to run wildly. Let it make you more attentive to me. When old chains begin to fall, ask me how to walk. When old doors open, ask me what to leave behind. When old fears lose their hold, ask me how to live from truth instead of reaction. Freedom needs guidance, and I will guide you. My child, some chains have been connected to identities you accepted too long. You called yourself anxious because fear had followed you. You called yourself broken because pain had visited you. You called yourself stuck because doors had delayed you. But I am naming you differently. You are being awakened. You are being released. You are being led. My beloved child, the shaking is not proof that I am against you. It is proof that what was against you cannot remain untouched by my presence. When I enter the prison, chains must answer. When I enter the hidden room, darkness must loosen. When I speak peace into the heart, false peace must be exposed. So let the shaking do its holy work. Do not cling to the bars. Do not grieve the chains. Do not fear the open door. My child, I know it can feel unfamiliar to live without what once controlled you. Even captivity can become predictable. But I am not calling you into emptiness. I am calling you into life. I am not taking away false security to leave you bare. I am removing what bound you so I can clothe you in peace, wisdom, and courage. Stand still with me. Listen. Breathe. The prison is not your home. My beloved child, as the old chains break, you will begin to see that what felt fragmented is being gathered. What felt lifeless is being touched by breath. What felt scattered is being reconnected by my hand. The shaking has a purpose. Freedom is beginning. And next I will show you how even dry bones, scattered and silent, can be joined again when my word and my breath move through what seemed beyond repair. My beloved child, as the old chains begin to loosen and the prison doors of the soul start to open, I want to show you another picture of my restoring power. Dry bones are being reconnected. What has been scattered is not beyond my reach. What has been silent is not beyond my breath. What looks lifeless to human eyes can still respond when I speak. My child, I once brought Ezekiel into a valley filled with dry bones. It was not a garden. It was not a place of beauty. It was a place of distance, dryness, separation, and impossibility. Everywhere he looked, there were pieces that no human hand could restore. Bone lay away from bone. Structure was gone. Life seemed absent. And then I asked him a question. Can these bones live? My beloved child, I ask that question not because I do not know the answer, but because I want the heart to see what it believes about my power. I wanted Ezekiel to look at what seemed impossible and remember that impossibility is not final when I am present. You may have places in your life that look like that valley. Scattered hopes, broken rhythms, dry prayers, disconnected pieces of your heart, parts of your faith that once felt alive but now feel quiet. My child, do not be ashamed to admit that some areas feel dry. I am not offended by honesty. I do not require you to pretend that the valley looks like a garden. Bring me the truth. Tell me where the bones seem scattered. Tell me where you cannot imagine how life could return. I am not afraid of the valley. I am Lord over it. My beloved child, dry bones speak of more than loss. They speak of time. They speak of waiting. They speak of things that have been exposed so long that hope stops expecting change. That may be how some parts of you have felt. You have waited so long for peace that part of you stopped asking. You have carried burdens so long that you began to think they belonged to your identity. But they do not. Dryness is not your name. Scattering is not your destiny. Silence is not the end of my work. My child, when I told Ezekiel to speak over the bones, I was revealing that my word can enter places where human effort has no answer. The prophet did not create life by his own strength. He obeyed my instruction. He spoke what I gave him to speak. And as my word went forth, bone came to bone. There was movement. There was sound. There was reconnection. My beloved child, that is what I am doing in you. Pieces that felt separated are beginning to find their place again. Your faith and your emotions, your memories and your peace, your calling and your courage, your tenderness and your wisdom, your past and your future. I am not leaving them scattered in confusion. I am bringing order. I am restoring structure. I am reconnecting what pain pulled apart. My child, do not fear the sound of reconnection. When bones began to come together, there was a rattling. Movement can sound unsettling. Healing can feel strange before it feels peaceful. Restoration can disturb the dust before it reveals the form I am rebuilding. Do not panic when movement begins. Do not call every sound chaos. Sometimes it is order returning. My beloved child, I know you want everything restored quietly. I understand. The soul becomes tired after long seasons of surviving, but restoration often comes in stages. First, what was separated begins to reconnect. Then what was bare begins to be covered. Then breath enters. Then what seemed dead stands again. Trust my stages. Do not despise the beginning because it is not complete. My child, there may be areas where you see connection returning but still do not feel alive. Do not lose heart. The bones came together before breath filled them. Structure came before movement. Form came before fullness. This is part of my way. I may restore order in your life before you feel strength in your soul. Let me continue. Do not walk away from the process halfway. My beloved child, I am reconnecting the places where disappointment created distance. You may have separated your heart from hope because hope once hurt. You may have separated prayer from expectation because waiting became painful. You may have separated your dreams from your daily life because they seemed too far away to touch. I am bringing those places near again, not to wound you, to heal you. My child, I am also reconnecting your inner life with my peace. For too long, parts of you have lived in reaction. One part tried to trust, another part prepared for disappointment, one part wanted to rest. Another part kept scanning for danger. One part believed I was good. Another part feared that goodness might not reach you. I am not angry with those divided places. I am gathering them. My beloved child, my breath brings life where division once ruled. My breath does not merely make you busy again. It makes you whole. It fills what was empty. It warms what had grown cold. It awakens what grief had placed under dust. When my breath enters, the valley changes. Not because the bones were strong, because my spirit is life. My child, I want you to receive this without striving. You do not have to force the bones together with hands. You do not have to invent life where you feel dry. You do not have to pretend that what is scattered is already whole. Your part is to listen, obey, speak truth, and remain near me while I do the work. Say what I say. Call life where fear called death. Call peace where anxiety claimed control. Call restoration where shame declared ruin. My beloved child, this is not denial. This is agreement with my word. Denial refuses to look at the valley. Faith looks at the valley and still says, Father, you know what can live. You know what can be restored. You know how to breathe into what I cannot repair. That is the posture I bless. Honest faith, humble trust, obedience. My child, the valley is not greater than my voice. The dry bones are not stronger than my breath. The scattered places are not too far apart for my hand. I know how to reconnect what belongs together. I know how to restore your inner structure. I know how to raise what you thought would never stand again. So rest in my work. Let my word move through the valley of your soul. Let my breath enter the places that have forgotten how to hope. My beloved child, what looks dry is not beyond me. What looks scattered is not lost. What looks silent can still hear my command. And as I reconnect what pain separated, I will also teach you a peace that does not depend on everything around you being still, a peace that cannot be shaken because it is built upon my unchanging presence. My beloved child, as I reconnect what pain separated and breathe life into dry places, I want to bring you into the peace I promised. Not a fragile peace, not a temporary relief, not a calm that disappears the moment circumstances move. I am bringing you the true peace that cannot be shaken. My child, you have known the kind of peace the world offers. It comes when the bills are paid, when people approve, when answers arrive, when the room is quiet, when nothing threatens your plans. But that peace depends on everything around you staying gentle. The moment wind rises, it trembles. My peace is different. My peace does not begin outside you. It begins in me. My beloved child, I do not give peace as the world gives. The world gives peace by removing pressure for a moment. I give peace by establishing my presence within you, so even when pressure comes, you are not ruled by it. The world gives peace when you control the outcome. I give peace when you surrender the outcome into my hands and discover you are held. This is the peace I am building in you. Deep, steady, alive. My child, true peace is not the absence of movement. The sea may have waves, yet the anchor can hold. The sky may carry clouds, yet the sun remains above them. Your life may still have questions, unfinished work, and relationships needing wisdom. Yet my peace can remain like a hidden foundation beneath your feet. Do not confuse peace with escape. Peace is not running from life. Peace is walking through life with me. My beloved child, you have sometimes waited for everything to settle before resting. You said, when this problem ends, then I will breathe. When this door opens, then I will trust. When this person understands me, then I will be calm. When this answer comes, then I will feel safe. But I am teaching you something deeper. You can breathe before every question is answered. You can trust before doors open. You can be held before every person understands. My child, this peace is not denial. I am not asking you to pretend the storm is not real. I am not asking you to cover pain with religious words. I am not asking you to smile while your heart needs care. My peace is not a mask. My peace is a place of refuge inside truth. Bring me what is real. Bring me the fear. Bring me the ache. Bring me the uncertainty, and let me sit with you there. My beloved child, a heart that receives my peace does not become numb. It becomes anchored. It still feels, but feelings no longer become the throne. It still notices danger, but fear no longer becomes the ruler. It still grieves, but grief no longer decides the meaning of your future. This is holy stability. This is a soul learning to rest in me. My child, I am forming a foundation beneath your inner life. Some foundations must be deep before the building can rise. If a house is built only on surface ground, the first storm can reveal what was missing. But when the foundation is set into what cannot move, the house can stand when rain comes, when wind presses, when noise surrounds it. I am setting your heart deeper, not in your own strength, in my presence. My beloved child, this is why some old supports have not been enough anymore. The opinions of people cannot hold your peace. Control cannot hold your peace. Constant planning cannot hold your peace. Distraction cannot hold your peace. Even good things cannot become the foundation that only I was meant to be. I am gently removing false foundations, not to leave you without support, but to show you the support that never fails. My child, when my peace begins to rule in you, you will notice the change slowly. It may begin as a pause before panic, a quiet breath before reacting, a refusal to believe the worst, a moment where fear speaks, but you no longer bow. Do not despise this beginning. My beloved child, guard the peace I give, not with anxiety, but with devotion. Some voices will pull you back into old rhythms. Some will demand quick answers, stir comparison, invite bitterness, or make you feel guilty for resting. You do not have to answer every voice. You belong to the shepherd. Listen for me. My child, peace grows where my voice is honored. If you feed your mind only with fear, your heart will struggle to rest. If you rehearse disaster, your soul becomes tired. If you return to what wounded you without bringing it to me, the wound keeps speaking louder than truth. So come back to me often, not only when the storm is loud. Come when the morning is quiet. Come before decisions. Come when your heart feels crowded. Come when peace feels small. My beloved child, I am not giving you peace as a reward for having no questions. I am giving you peace as a gift while you still have questions. I am not waiting for you to become perfectly strong. I am meeting you in weakness and teaching you how to lean without shame. Peace is not earned by perfection. Peace is received through trust. My child, let my peace become the center from which you live. Not fear, not urgency, not old pain, not the need to prove yourself. When peace rules, you no longer have to chase every door, defend every misunderstanding, control every outcome, or carry every burden alone. You can move with wisdom. You can wait without despair. You can say no without guilt. You can say yes without fear. My beloved child, this is the peace that cannot be shaken, because it is not built on what changes. It is built on who I am. I do not change when circumstances shift. I do not leave when people misunderstand. I do not forget when seasons delay. I do not withdraw when you tremble. I remain, and because I remain, you can remain. My child, receive this peace today. Let it settle deeper than the noise. Let it enter the room of your thoughts. Let it cover the places where anxiety has walked too freely. Let it teach your breath a slower rhythm. Let it remind you that you are not alone. You are held. You are guided. You are safe in my care. My beloved child, I am not promising that nothing around you will ever shake. I am promising that I can build something within you that the shaking cannot own. I can place peace where panic once lived. I can place trust where suspicion once guarded the door. I can place stillness where your soul once ran without rest. Let me do this